Sup, you beautiful bastards. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about today is special election news in the United States. Specifically, today, Alabama is voting between Doug Jones and Roy Moore. And honestly, there's just not much to add in this situation. By now, you most likely know all the allegations against Roy Moore, one of his accusers saying she was 14 at the time. Now, even with that and things that have transpired since those accusations were made, Roy Moore, in a lot of polls, is still leading. Now, keep in mind, the polls are all over the place, depending on where you are looking. And I've seen a lot of people asking, how the hell can people be voting for Roy Moore? And the general thing I'm seeing from Roy Moore supporters is it's one of three things. One, they don't believe the accusations, some people thinking that it was an organized move by Democrats, many supporters calling it fake news. Two, you have people arguing Roy Moore is just accused of this, but they personally are pro-life, and so they can't vote for someone like Doug Jones, who is pro-choice. And three, it's just the general idea that no matter what, we can't give the Democrats this seat in the Senate. Now, individuals most likely will have different reasonings, but these are the three main that I have seen. But ultimately, what we're going to see in the next 24 hours is the end of this story, or rather an end to the chapter of this story. If Doug Jones is elected, it's a pretty simple situation, but then if Roy Moore is elected, we have to wait to see how Senate Republicans respond. There have been reports all over the place as far as what happens if and when he gets elected, which, as of recording this video, I mean, if you had to lean, you had to kind of guesstimate, it seems that's more likely. That said, I do want to talk about Roy Moore's rally last night. Everyone's already talked about their feelings on Roy Moore's first interview back being with a 12-year-old, but I just needed to share this clip of Roy Moore's wife last night. It is my most favorite thing I've seen in the past 24 hours. And so just, here you go. This is Roy Moore's wife getting the crowd pumped.
Fake news would tell you that we don't care for Jews. I tell you all this because I've seen it all, so I just want to set the record straight while they're here. One of our attorneys is a Jew.
Oh shit! I love that there were some people in the crowd like, preach! Kayla, that's like if I said, if you look to the mainstream news, fake news, they say I don't like Mexicans. Hi, fake news. Let me drop this bombshell. The three ladies who clean my house once a week are Mexican. Kayla, I don't think your words are doing what you think they're doing. Or unfortunately, maybe they are doing what you think they're doing. You didn't even deploy the version of, I can't be racist, I have a black friend. You said, that's fake news, I employ someone. Now keep in mind, I'm not saying that Kayla is actually anti-Semitic. I just love the confidence she possessed when she said something so utterly stupid. Then let's talk about an update around the Keaton Jones story and controversy. We covered it yesterday to oversimplify. There was a lot of love and response, and then there was a lot of backlash, people saying that the family is racist, that Keaton said the N-word, people saying he called someone that at school and that's why he got bullied. And I pointed this out yesterday, but there has been no actual real evidence that this child did anything. And as far as the family or mother being racist, there was that MMA fighter who said he had a direct message with the mother. He acknowledged that it could have been with someone that was posing as the mother, but still most everyone took that it was definitely the mother, even though it was an account that wasn't theirs. People saying the mother, she started a GoFundMe. Nope, that was started by someone else saying they were doing it on her behalf, a person that didn't know them personally. The one alleged Facebook post from the mother where she's essentially saying, like, if you don't have a broken bone, suck it up, which is incredibly rude, dismissive, not seemingly on message with what she was doing with her son. And then a photo of the mother with a Confederate flag, another where the family is outside, one of them's holding a Confederate flag. And the Confederate flag, for my international viewers, some people see it as an inherently racist symbol, a callback to slavery times. Other people see it as Southern pride that is separate from slavery and the atrocities of the past. As far as my personal opinion, I mean, I'm personally not a fan of the Confederate flag. I am someone that associates it with so much horrible history, but I lived in the South for a really long time. I knew people that were all about the Confederate flag. And a lot of those people, I won't say all of those people, a lot of those people didn't seem like they had a racist bone in their body. So for me personally, when I saw that picture, I thought, okay, well, that's one, more of a gray situation to me. And two, this is a point I'll repeat, I think it's very important to separate Keaton from his mother, the rest of his family. He's an individual, and whenever we're dealing with someone, we shouldn't punish the child for the sins of the father. But that said, since all of this backlash, the mother has since responded, talking to Good Morning America, and on the topic of those pictures with the Confederate flag, she said,
it was meant to be ironic and funny and extreme. I am genuinely, truly sorry. If I could take it back, I would.
And coming from that, I don't know if you believe her, I don't know if you want to believe the worst of her, but even still, I think it is incredibly important to separate the mother from her child. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. Many people have assumed the worst in the mother, then assumed the worst in the child, and have passed along as if it is 100% fact that this little boy was throwing out racial slurs based off of just some random tweet that went viral. And that's then resulted in, instead of just some kids in his lunchroom just bullying him, a fucking giant part of the internet saying, you said the the N-word, you're racist, you're horrible. It's just crazy to me. But from that, I want to share some stuff I love today. And today in Awesome, brought to you by ShopDeFranco.com. Shop DeFranco, of course, the place to get our merch, our awesome shirts, our hoodies, our sweaters, our pillows. But also, quick note, yesterday was the last day for guaranteed normal delivery. Just a note, you might have to have a different shipping option, or you might have to do that thing where you print out a picture and you're like, this is a present you're gonna get. But not today. Also, I promise I didn't just buy this an hour ago. And actually, the first bit of awesome is tied to ShopDeFranco.com because for, I don't know how long it's not been available. But today, we are bringing back the immensely popular, and of course it's immensely popular, It Jerks, the I Hate Philip DeFranco shirt and hoodie. Then in Trailer Awesome, we got a new trailer for Bright with Will Smith. We got a brand new Black Panther trailer, a trailer for Insidious: The Last Key. And behind the scenes awesome, there was a featurette released by Netflix for The Punisher. We got Christmas Carpool Karaoke, honest trailer for Return of the Jedi. Then we had Dumb Drum put out a sweeted trailer for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. We also had NTN putting out a video on everything you need to know about The Last Jedi. Then for you foodies out there, Thrillist put out a video about bagels and lox in New York. And if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret link of the day, anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. Then in quickie crypto news, everyone's been talking about Bitcoin, but if you are a Litecoin believer, today you are a very happy boy or girl. As of recording in the past day, it has gone up over 100%. This week it has gone up 267%. And so far this year, Litecoin is up over 10,000%. So that means essentially if you would put $10,000 in Litecoin, that would currently be valued at over $1 million. I'm so glad that I decided to keep my Bitcoin in cold storage and not, oh my God. Of course, the way cryptocurrency goes, by the time this video goes out, might even be bigger, might be smaller. And with that said, if you're one of the people that is interested in trying to check this out, maybe dabble, for beginners, Coinbase is a fantastic app. I'll include a link in the description. If you sign up, you put in $100 to start messing around with, you get $10 in Bitcoin, I get $10 in Bitcoin. But even with all of that, I do want to point something out, and I want to stress it because it's very important. You should be careful with how much money you put into this space. It is a very exciting but very volatile space. Beware of taking advice from anyone that will not disclose what they personally have their money in. I currently have mine in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and just a very few alts. Also be careful when taking advice from someone who has a lot of money in something and is telling you it's awesome. Never put in more than you're willing to lose, and just looking at the news, that is not what people are doing. I saw a report recently where a securities regulator said that people are taking out mortgages on their home to buy Bitcoin. Guys, it is exciting, but please be careful. Understand, I'm not trying to neg what is happening here. Even the creator of Litecoin yesterday, obviously very excited about where Litecoin is right now. Even he yesterday was saying, be careful if you can't deal with potentially it losing like 80% of its value. It might not be for you. Then in daily outrage news, let's talk about Woodland Middle School in Gurnee, Illinois. The school and teacher are under fire for a worksheet that the teacher gave to the students. The assignment was called If You Give Hitler a Country, themed after the very popular children's book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. It prominently features a My Little Pony version of Hitler with a swastika doing a Nazi salute, and the instructions said to create a comic strip for little kids that exemplifies Europe's appeasement towards Hitler, requiring one full page with 6 cells. The kids were told to include fun and colorful pictures. One mother said she found her son's work. It showed SpongeBob accompanied by a bunch of swastikas. As you might expect, some parents were outraged, and after looking into the incident, the school sent home a letter to parents that said the intent of the student activity was to help students understand the complex issues leading up to World War II, not to minimize the atrocities of Nazi Germany. However, the fun and cartoonish elements of the activity students were asked to complete did not fully represent the intent of the teachers or of board policy. Now, part of my brain goes, okay, you know what, maybe this was just like, this was a teacher trying to make the atrocities of this time approachable to children. But at what point in making the worksheet did you go, yeah, Hitler, My Little Pony doing the Nazi salute, that's the winner? Then I'm also of the mindset, and this is mainly where I land, where I think you don't have to turn it into this fun, colorful thing. It's an immensely awful thing that happened that is incredibly important for us to talk about so history does not repeat itself. And I'd personally treat it with that seriousness. Now, am I offended? It makes me laugh because it's so stupid. It's mainly the My Little Pony Hitler. That's the thing for me that it really pushes it into really, bro, territory. But the story is interesting to me, and I'm very interested in your personal takeaway. When it comes to serious topics like this with young children, do you think that there should be a sugar coating? Or no, just the situation, nothing fun, cartoonish to make it more approachable or something? And I ask because, once again, everyone has different opinions and different backgrounds. I personally loved history class because history is crazy. Maybe other people think that it needs to be more approachable. I'd just love to know your thoughts. And the last thing I want to talk about today is this Philip Brailsford Daniel Shaver story. And this story is about a police shooting that took place in January of 2016. Daniel Shaver was shot and killed by then Officer Brailsford in a hotel in Mesa, Arizona. Police responded to a call from a hotel guest who said that someone at the hotel had been pointing a rifle out of the window. 3 officers responded to the call. They confronted Shaver and a woman that he was with in the hallway. The officers said said that they were able to take the woman into custody, but that Shaver himself would not comply. He wasn't complying with instructions, and he kept reaching behind his back. And during the attempted arrest, Shaver was shot multiple times by Officer Philip Brailsford. Shaver did not have a weapon on him, but 2 pellet guns that he used in his pest control job were in the room. Now, immediately after the shooting, Brailsford was placed on administrative duty, and then just 2 months later, he was fired. At this time, Shaver's widow was publicly demanding the body camera footage be released, and in May of 2016, partial footage was released, but it was decided the confrontation and death weren't going to be made public until the end of the trial. So then, that day comes. On Thursday, Philip Brailsford was found not guilty on charges of second-degree murder and manslaughter, and the judge then ordered the release of the body cam footage, which, oh my god. Also, a quick note I want to make, because there's been a lot of misreporting or just not reporting. Philip Brailsford is not the one giving orders. Brailsford does shoot and kill Shaver. It's actually Sergeant Charles Langley that was the one issuing orders. And I'll link to the full video down below, but let's jump into the main points.
Stop right there! Stop! Stop! Get on the ground, both of you! Lay down on the ground! Lay down on the ground! If you make a mistake, another mistake, there's a very severe possibility you're both going to get shot. Do you understand that? Yes. I'm not here to be tactful or diplomatic with you. You listen, you obey. Put both your hands on the top of your head and interlace your fingers. Take your feet and cross your left foot over your right foot. If you move, we're going to consider that a threat, and we are going to deal with it, and you may not survive it. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Okay, young man, listen to my instructions and do not make a mistake. You are to keep your legs crossed. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. You are to put both of your hands palms down, straight out in front of you. Push yourself up to a kneeling position. I said keep your legs crossed. I didn't say there's a conversation. Put your hair! Hands up in the air! You do that again, we're shooting you. Do you understand?
Please do not shoot me.
Then listen to my instruction.
I'm trying to do what you
Don't talk! Listen! Do not put your hands down for any reason. You think you're gonna fall, you better fall on your face. Your hands go back in the small of your back or down. We are going to shoot you. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Crawl towards me. Crawl towards me!
Yes, sir.
Don't
At that moment, Brailsford shot and killed Shaver. As you might imagine, there are people just calling this straight murder. People pointing out the police officer's gun even had "you're fucked" etched into it. People arguing that this is just a guy waiting for his chance to shoot someone. While other people argue, no, it was a justified shooting. He put his hand behind his back. The officer felt like he might be reaching for a weapon, so he opened fire. But my personal takeaway from this is most of the blame here should fall on Sergeant Charles Langley. He was the person in control of the situation. He was definitely the person escalating the situation. In between shouting threats, he was playing some weird game of Simon Says. We've also seen others in law enforcement criticize the orders being given. Asking someone to crawl forward to you with crossed ankles is not a standard safe arrest practice. Some saying Shaver could have just stayed on the ground with his hands on his head. They have enough officers to arrest safely that way. When on his knees, he could have been told to turn around so they could check his belt line. When he was looking away, they could tell him to lift his shirt. But unfortunately, what actually happened was after countless taunts and threats and just screaming and barking of bizarre orders. To a man that was very drunk, he ended up making the mistake of reaching back. And that guy's dead. And that's actually why, personally, I think that Brailsford is less responsible than his sergeant. Brailsford was put into an escalated situation where he personally didn't have enough information to know if there was a weapon there or not. Because of his sergeant, and a jury has now decided because he was in that situation, he was legally justified. Meanwhile, Sergeant Charles Langley has just quietly retired. It's just another insane and horrifying situation. Just another guy trying to live his life, has a family, 2 kids. But all that said, that's the story, that's my opinion, and I'd love to know your thoughts here. Let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below. And that's where I'm going to end today's show. And remember, if you like this video, you like what I try and do on this channel, you want to support it and everything else we're trying to build, go to DeFrancoElite.com, sign up, become a member. There you get some early videos, exclusive live streams like the one we're doing today. Also, if you want to snag an exclusive signed poster, a mug, it's all there. Also, if you missed yesterday's Philip DeFranco show, you want to catch up, click or tap right there to watch that. Or if you want to watch today's DeFranco Nation Book Club, click right there. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.